Hey everyone, it's Nikki. Today I'm joining my sweet friend Jette from Craft Along with Jay for our All About Animals collaboration that we do monthly. And this time we're leaning into a theme we're calling a season between, with winter still hanging on, a touch of Valentine's romance, and the first signs of spring. So let's take this sweet little pig napkin and this beautiful rose napkin and a Dollar Tree canvas and make it so adorable. I've already separated my pig image and now I'm using my water pen to remove the center of the rose napkin. Since the pig will sit right in the middle, I'm just laying it there to help me estimate about how much needs to come out. And then I'm going to use a bit of Mod Podge in my fan brush to gently smooth the napkin down into that medium. I'm going to do just one section at a time, starting with the bottom and just putting a nice thin layer of my Mod Podge. I don't mind wrinkles at all when I'm decoupaging with napkins. I actually like them. They add to that vintage shabby chic look that I'm just so drawn to. And for those who have been watching me, you know this, right? I'm using my fan brush to kind of help those pieces that want to curl under, just pulling them forward. I'm gently lifting and pressing the napkin into the medium, just being careful not to tear it. But if it does tear a little, that's okay. It really just adds to the look I'm going for. I'm mainly focused on working out as many air bubbles as I can. And you could totally, use the iron method. I just kind of switch it up. I use the iron method quite a bit, but I like to just, mix it up a little bit. I added this piece back in. There was just a little bit too much white showing. My pig does overlap it a little bit, but it's okay. I love his little face. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's a he or she, but I'm calling it a he. I feel like I call every animal that I don't know a he. It's just a romantic male pig. And water does help smooth things out, and plastic wrap that helps smooth out things too. I'm using my scissors, as you can see, to tear along the side. And then I go in with a little bit of flame. I'm saving that napkin, by the way. And that helps clean up the edges nicely. Now, of course, if you do this, just have water handy. I don't use this method very often, but it does add a little nice touch. And I found this really pretty ribbon. It's like a peachy pink and it looks kind of shabby chic vintage. I'm putting that all the way around my canvas with some hot glue. And then I found these little beads. I say found. I have a whole drawer full of beads that I got at Goodwill. These are like a creamy off-white, and so I'm putting them all around to kind of frame it in. And then I'm taking the script stamp and some antique gold Luxe Metallic Paint by Paint Couture, and I'm just going to press in. I don't want it perfect, but I do want some typography showing. Just make sure you put something behind the canvas because, there's no structure there. And then I took some floral foam and one of Dollar Tree's candlesticks and just removing the center, gluing that floral foam right down to the top of the candlestick. And I want my frame, my canvas, to fit right in the center. So I use some hot glue and I'm just going to hold it there a minute. Now I'm going to load it up with some greenery and florals. I'm using some lamb's ear, rose stems, boxwood, roses, ranunculus. This is frosted eucalyptus. And I'm not sure what this greenery is. It's kind of like some sort of a vine, I'm guessing, and some excelsior. Just tucking that in there. And these are the ranunculus that I mentioned. They're one of my favorite flowers. You can find these at Walmart. They are absolutely beautiful. A little bit of baby's breath. Got that on Amazon. Most all of this came from Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Amazon. And I wanted to add a bow to the top, so I found this one of my resin castings. This is from IOD's Ties Mold, I think is what it's called, painted it antique gold. And look at how cute this is. I think it's just so beautiful and romantic and perfect for the season. Let me know what you think of my little pig design. I found this beautiful box at Goodwill for $10. It reminds me of a jewelry box. I don't know if it is, and it's in amazing shape. There's really nothing wrong with it at all. The only thing I'm not loving are the handles, and I'm going to go ahead and remove those. And I'm going to paint the entire thing in the color Cashew by Waverly. I gave it 2 full coats, and I just love this creamy tone. And then once it's dry, I'm going to go in with Redesign's Medi Transfers and Rosy Nest. These are so pretty. I love the mixed florals and birds. Transfers like this are so fun to work with, and they really elevate any substrate that you're working on. You can get multiple projects out of just one set, and I still have plenty left over for another project or two. If you haven't used Medi Transfers before, they're very forgiving and easy to customize. You can change the orientation depending on the look that you're going for. I could have had this draping from the upper right or left hand corner and flowing downward, but I decided to place it in the lower right hand corner so it feels like it's gently creeping upward towards the left side of the box. Once I have it positioned where I wanted it, I made sure it was pressed down really well. As I'm rubbing the transfer, I'm being mindful of the gaps in the drawers, just to keep everything looking as seamless as possible. I don't want those lines to stand out too much and be super obvious. I like to peel the backing sheet slowly as I go, taking my time so I don't crack the transfer. And if it does crack a little bit, that's totally okay. I'm also using the wave method here and there. If you're not familiar with that, it's just gently pushing on the backing sheet to create a small wave and pressing as you go. It really helps the transfer to release smoothly. Then I went in with my little craft knife, it's actually a scalpel, and carefully went along the drawer gaps. I really took my time on this step, being mindful not to tear the transfer. I want those drawers to open and close smoothly without any catching. And before moving on, I added these pretty bronze knobs I picked up on Amazon. They went in really easily, perfect fit, and I had no trouble at all. I love how they pair with the transfers. They just tie everything together so nicely. Next, I repeated those same steps as I added these sweet little birds. I love how easily the little birds just sat on one of the branches. These are just so fun to work with. And from here, I'm just going to continue building the design and let it wrap around the side of the box naturally. And I'm just going to be repeating a lot of the same process. So I'm just going to let you watch as I put this together until everything feels balanced. I had a small piece of my bird's wing that didn't transfer over. I just placed it back down and finished transferring it. These are very forgiving. Then I took out one of Redesign's gilded transfers. It's called Label Deluxe, and the word farewell really spoke to me. I can't help but picture this little bird heading off to wherever he's meant to go next. I'm going to lightly sand everything using my finger sander, just the sides of the drawers, the sides of the box. I'm not going to go over my transfers. Next, I'm going to go in with some dark wax. This one I like to use with good ventilation, being mindful and taking precautions, but this time of year I can't take it outside. It's by Howard Chalkteak, I think that's how you say it. Um, if I can remember, I will link it down below, but you can see that I'm using a paintbrush and a rag here and focusing on the sides. I'm doing some light brushing with what's left over on my paintbrush and then going in with some clear wax by Sweet Pickins. This really darkens the paint just a bit, helps blend everything in together, and adds that rich finished look while sealing in my chalk paint. And I'm going to go over the whole thing with this. And that is it for this beautiful jewelry box. I truly love how this came together. The dark florals against the creamy paint are such a pretty contrast, but this would also be stunning over black paint for a more moody feel. Let me know what you think of this one. I got this little chair at Goodwill for $3, and I've had it in my stash for such a long time because I wasn't entirely sure what direction I wanted to go in, and this is a little bit of a ride, so bear with me. I ended up digging into my castings and chose this piece here. I'll be sure to link it down below. Added a little bit of Gorilla Glue to the back and went right over the heart with it. Now, primitive decor, especially older primitive pieces, had hearts on just about everything. And when I'm thrifting, I see them all the time. My first instinct is usually to cover the heart or find a way to disguise it. And resin castings are perfect for that. They're strong and durable, and you really don't have to worry about breakage. Now I'm going to paint the entire thing with Sweet Pickens milk paint in the color Creamy. I'm using it's a 1-to-1 ratio, so I'm using 2 tablespoons of milk paint to 2 tablespoons of water. I'm going to mix it really well, and I do set it off to the side for a few minutes, and I'm going to paint the whole thing with 2 coats. I'm really trying to craft my stash, so I dug out this paper that I picked up from the DIY struggle last year. I tore all along the edges to give it that organic, time-worn look. I used some of DIY's liquid patina as my medium and then burnished the paper right into that patina using one of my fan brushes. This paper is so cute with a little baby chick scattered throughout. And I did add a light spritz of water to help spread that patina and, get everything nice and smoothed out, no bubbles. And at this point, I realized the paper was feeling a little too dark against my melt paint. So I went in with the color Pitch Black by Paint Couture to adjust the tone and just see where it would take me. And I'll be honest, I had no idea what I was doing here. And I was a little terrified the whole time. I'm still not sure if I even like it or love it, but I wanted to take you along with me through the process anyway. Full disclosure, I attempted to go in with some green paint thinking that I could just blend the bottom of the design and continue the grass. And yeah, I'm not an artist. I am not good at blending colors. That's when I decided to go in with a black. And then I took out some transfers by IOD. This one is called Sarah's Beaton's Botanicals. And I'm going to go with these two yellow images. I just love the florals in this booklet. I believe this one's a few years old. And I'm going to place these along the sides of my chair. Now I'm going to add a touch of gold rub and buff to the casting just to catch all those raised details and bring the design forward. This is truly one of my favorite molds. I reach for it all the time. Then I heavily sanded the whole thing. And then I used that same dark wax that I used earlier and let it sit on the design for about 20 minutes and wiped it all back. And that is it for this little chair. You'll have to let me know if you like it. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a little unsure, but I would love to know what you guys think of this. My little chicks are a little hidden behind the lemons and the florals, but they're there all the same. And, that's part of this collaboration is animals. All right, that's it for today's projects. Here's a quick recap, and be sure to check out my friend Jette and let her know that I sent you. She makes the prettiest things. As always, hit that like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me. Until the next one, bye.